Despite becoming a global star in the period drama Bridgerton, actress Phoebe Dynevor has revealed that she felt very vulnerable acting out the intimate scenes, with the solo love scene being the hardest to shoot. So we're asking, do we really need those love scenes? Jane, do you feel like we need them?
Oh, it depends, doesn't it? I mean, I think... So, remember Normal People, which was very much about a teenage romance and the awkwardness of it. For me, I felt that the scenes in that were appropriate to what it was all about. But there are other things where I think, oh, not another sexy... OK, we get it, you like each other. Do we have to see it 20 times? I always think that it's there as a... because there's a void in the plot or the script. Yeah.
But Frankie, you fast-forwarded those scenes.
I did.
You don't like it.
No, it's not. You know what? I didn't think that I was prudish at all. But you've got to take this in context as well. I'm trying to watch this in my kitchen. I've got my mother and father-in-law that can walk in any time, you know, the kids and whatever. But I just find it a bit uncomfortable anyway. Like, I don't even really enjoy watching people snog on screen because they make that noise and it just... And I just, again, I'm with Jane. I feel like sometimes, you know, it tells a story and if it's relevant, of course, like, I'm not against it, but they do just make me uncomfortable. And I do feel like when you're sat there with your partner, the whole time I'm sitting there and thinking, babe, do not get any ideas from what we're watching. We are turning this off and I'm going to sleep. It's too late. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, no.
Because Nadia, you're like Frankie, aren't you? You don't like public displays of affection generally, let alone when you're seeing it on screen.
No, if somebody was to snog near me with a tongue, it would be just, for me, it's one of the rudest things you could do. I just find it repulsive. It's so intimate. And actually, going back to what is that? What can I hear?
Awful.
You're here.
It's a sound
we put some sound effects of some snogging, especially for you.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! I can't bear it. But I think, you know, go back to what Phyllis Logan was saying earlier when we were chatting to her. I don't know if any of you remembered this scene in Bridgerton where he just very slowly took her glove off. Oh, my God. So hot, you know, and actually... I mean, let's not forget, this is the most streamed drama ever on the channel that it's on. So people are wanting it. People are wanting to see this. I mean, just get Judy on this. She doesn't stop. So for a lot of people, I think, I think for a lot of men, they're going to be a bit uncomfortable with it because I think a lot of women are now saying, can I have a bit more of that? But yeah, I mean, we have the option to fast forward it, don't we?
Yeah. Now, I know there are quite a few parents at home homeschooling, so I know there are kids around when you're watching us. So we are going to be careful with our language on this particular subject because, you know, Keira Knightley, not that long ago, said that she doesn't want to appear nude in films directed by men because it makes her feel uncomfortable. And Nadia, how did you feel if you ever had to do anything like that in your acting career?
Well, I had to do... Well, there's a couple of situations where I felt very uncomfortable, but there was one situation with quite a very famous actor, and we were doing a kind of sex scene. It was a bit odd though because I was in a fish shop and I was on top of a pile of plaice. It was all very odd, but and it was a tiny room, you know, absolutely tiny. I got there and they said that we want to do the sex scene on the first day. And they were like, you'll be okay because there'll be nobody actually watching because it was such a tiny room. But outside of that room was the monitor, was the DOP, the lighting, the script. I mean, there was so many people watching. And I think for Keira Knightley, it's wonderful that you can get to that stage and say, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And hopefully there is change now in the industry where those, you know, where people do feel more comfortable to say, actually, what is the point of this sex scene? Do we actually need it? You know,
they have coordinators now, don't they?
Yeah. And there is one particular scene in Bridgerton which a lot of people are talking about, and that involves Phoebe Dynevor doing, let's say, self-love. And that's not something we see that often on our screens, Jane, is it?
No, it isn't. And, I mean, it's quite interesting you say that because I watched the whole of that season. I don't actually remember that scene at all. Maybe I did what you did and fast-forwarded it. I don't know.
Maybe you thought she had wind.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't... Yeah, I mean, what amused me about Bridgerton, I read that when she was having to do all of those scenes, the stately home that they were filming it in, the people that work in the stately home had to stay in the room to make sure that the furniture didn't get abused because it's so, you know, valuable.
Yeah.
Well, the furniture
people.
definitely got abused in Bridgerton.
Yeah. But Frankie, when it comes to seeing women enjoying themselves, where self-love is concerned, that doesn't always go down well, does it?
No, I think we're quite used to seeing men doing that kind of thing on TV, and I think it's one of those double-edged swords. I do think maybe it needs to be spoken about more. Like, I know Zoella, she did a blog recently about she reviewed like intimate toys, and she's got a lot of stick for that.
Yeah.
And I think that's because people feel uncomfortable about it. You know, she's reviewed who her followers are. She feels that the age is the right age. And why shouldn't we talk about these things? Whether or not you want to watch someone do it, that's a different thing. But
And we represent a fair amount of the population, and why shouldn't we talk about it?